In the news tonight, Barbadians told Gathering serves as another opportunity to have their concerns addressed. Tributes pour in for Police Communications and Public Affairs Officer Inspector Rodney Innis, who passed away yesterday.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom. Thank you so much for tuning in. In our top story tonight, the Gathering celebrations are being used as another mechanism to hear the cries of residents across Barbados and address their concerns. This assurance from Senior Minister Carrie Simmons, who was speaking at the St. Philip the Less Anglican Church in Boscobel, where he stressed Gathering is much more than dancing and merrymaking. Trevor Thorpe was there.
Barbadians are being told the Gathering also provides another forum for their concerns to be heard and addressed. Senior Minister Carrie Simmons says it has started in St. Lucie, with matters already being dealt with.
This regathering opportunity must also be an opportunity for reinvestment in the parishes and in the communities of this country, and that reinvestment be led by you, the people of the parish. And you will have a very responsive ear of the government. We were moved by what we heard from St. Lucie, and immediately at Cabinet on Thursday, not telling any secrets out of school, but Senior Minister Duguid will confirm, as will other Cabinet colleagues here, that the Prime Minister has required, not requested, required that a lot of the ideas which have been taken down be now addressed and distributed out to the relevant government departments for their immediate attention.
Priest in charge of the St. Philip the Less Anglican Church, the Reverend Reginald Knight, wants Barbadians to be aware of the island's rich heritage and the importance of sharing knowledge.
To all those who come after you, what plans do they have? What plans do we have for helping to fashion the minds of our young people in a positive way? Are they being prepared, these young people of ours, by you and the wider nation for this country's next big step?
Minister of Labour and the Third Sector, Colin Jordan, says St. Peter has a major role to play in the spiritual, physical and national development of Barbados.
It will not be only about jump up, and I say that very clearly based on a few of the slightly unsavory things that I've heard. This will be a mix of jump up and celebration, of learning, of mixing. This will be a balanced program so that the people of St. Peter, the people of Barbados, the diaspora, the world is able to understand, recognize, and appreciate the significant heritage that is St. Peter.
Director of the Regathering Secretariat, Senator John King, says the St. Peter Regathering continues with the momentum started in St. Lucie.
When you look at their calendar, it is so diverse and so well crafted that there's something there for everybody. And I just want to encourage all Barbadians, wherever you are, to give the same support that you gave to St. Lucie, you give it to St. Peter, and come out and make some new friends and discover some new things about this wonderful island we call home that you probably didn't know before.
Secretariat officials have called it a beautiful day of faith, fellowship, and honouring the traditions that unite Barbadians. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
The Barbados Police Service is mourning for a third time this week after the sudden death of Police Communications and Public Affairs Officer Inspector Rodney Innis. Inspector Innis reportedly passed away at his residence in St. Philip last evening. Rachel Agard has that report.
Inspector Rodney Innis was a household name. And as word of his sudden death spread, lawmen, family and friends gathered on the outskirts of his St. Philip home. His cousin Ronald Brown says they grew up together and stresses no one could say anything bad about the inspector.
And up to our bar there, we sat down and had a good, quiet conversation while playing some tongue. And I was in St. John this evening when I got the news, and it really shocked me, so I just turned up on the site and think, but Rodney is somebody who would give his last. Anybody asked Rodney for help, he would help them. No doubt.
Natisha Grissett says she could go to Inspector Innis for advice on any matter.
I was actually home and I got the news. I jumped up and came straight here. Rodney Innis helped a lot of people, and I could testify that I was one that he had helped. Condolences again, and may he rest in peace.
Resident Livingstone Allen says he last saw the inspector 2 days ago.
The passing is a shock to us in the neighborhood, and in general, we're kind of lost for words, but you can see from the support he has around here that he's a well-loved person in the area and throughout Barbados in general.
Inspector Innis was a prominent member of the Domino fraternity. He was president of the Barbados Traveling Dominoes team, second vice president of FIMUNDO World Championships for Dominoes, and was instrumental in planning the 2025 World Championship to be held in Barbados later this year. The inspector's death follows Sergeant Antonio Rochester, who died tragically on January 2nd along Tudor Bridge St. Michael, and Sergeant Adrian Padmore on January 3rd. May he rest in peace. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley is among those paying tribute to Inspector Innis. In a statement, she said Inspector Innis endeared himself to Barbadians by showing a high level of dedication and compassion, no matter the circumstances. According to her, at any hour of the night, he was willing to take calls to provide clarity, reassurance, and to ensure the country was not in undue alarm when incidents occurred. She described his service to the nation and the Barbados Police Service as nothing short of exemplary, adding that his absence will be deeply felt. There is a suggestion Barbados consider how people working in the hospitality industry should be trained to cater to new trends in tourism. It comes from Chairman of the Board of the Barbados Community College, the Honourable Dr. Alison Leacock. She was speaking at a service at the St. Matthias Church to celebrate the 28th anniversary of the Jean and Norma Holder Hospitality Institute.
The Jean and Norma Holder Hospitality Institute, renamed in 2020, has been training students for some 28 years. It has produced over 6,000 professionals for the hospitality industry. Chairman of the BCC board, the Honourable Dr. Alison Leacock, notes the tourism sector has changed, and she believes this is the right time to upgrade the curriculum.
We have to also focus on digital nomads, a new visitor, on leisure travel, which we understand 76% of our business travelers are combining just a little bit of leisure when they do travel. So it is an ideal time for us to upgrade our own offerings, to add personalization through data analytics, integration of advanced technology, sustainable and eco-friendly practices, health and wellness tourism, whose expenditure globally surpassed $1 trillion in 2024.
Dr. Leacock also believes there's one specific area Barbados can benefit from.
Accessible and inclusive tourism. We have 1.3 billion people with disabilities in the world, and their spending power is $13 trillion. Little Barbados could do with a fraction of that. And so including this training will ensure that our graduates remain competitive on the global stage.
The board chairman has also encouraged the students to continue to be passionate and dedicated to the hospitality sector.
Hospitality is more than a profession. It is a calling. It is a calling that reflects our character as individuals and our culture as a nation.
The Institute will continue its celebrations throughout the week with multiple activities. Sean Farrell, CBC News.
Well, coming up, organizers of Laugh It Off reflect on the success of the production. The the cast of Laugh It Off has been bringing a bellyful of laughs to the Barbadian public for 40 years. Executive producer Innis says they have had 165 Barbadians work with the production in one capacity or the other over the years, and thanks all those who have sponsored the show over the years. November 1985 was the show's very first production and was a collaboration between four men: Tom Cross, Tony Thompson, Guy Goring, and Winston Farrell. Mr. Estwick was reflecting on the history of the production as a new series started yesterday at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre.
Longevity is one thing, but it has to be supported. And we've always been fortunate in that we've had some very committed sponsors who believed in our product and helped us along the way. Without these companies, I don't think there would have been Laugh It Off for more than 5-6 years. It's a struggle, not only in terms of sponsorship, but other regulatory things. We were adamant that we were going to make something of this production company, and I think we did.
Title sponsor Title sponsors Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union has been with the comedy show for the past 40 years. Chief Marketing and Member Customer Experience Officer Gail Niles says this is a partnership they will treasure for a very long time and has pledged their support for years to come.
We evolve with you, and we see ourselves as be a partner in sharing Barbadian creativity, storytelling, and social commentary. Beyond financial services, we are invested in empowering our community, and this sponsorship allows us to do that by supporting the creative institutions such as Laugh It Off that bring people together.
Over to Trinidad and Tobago now. Commissioner of Police Erla Harewood Christopher was released from police custody late yesterday evening without being charged. She was being held at the St. Clair Police Station in connection with the illegal procurement of high-powered rifles for almost 3 days. We'll take a break here and come back with sports and weather.
Good evening with sports. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. Well, Ray Williams on board Renaissance Frolic led from start to finish to take the 2025 Coolmore Home of Champions Stakes and Trophy, the warm-up race for the Sandy Lane Barbados Gold Cup. The featured race of Saturday's race at the Garrison Savannah saw Williams dominate the small 5-horse field.
And they're racing to an absolutely picture-perfect beginning for this, the 2025 running of the Coolmore Home of Champions Stakes. And Renaissance Frolic, the favorite, has gone straight to the lead as expected. In second is Vividly towards the outside. That one is Dancing Prospector, Tough Rags on the rails, and Brilliant News is the trailer as they turn into the stretch the first time. They've got just over a circuit to run, and the opening quarter listed as 26 flat. And Renaissance Frolic and Ray Williams have decided to take no prisoners. They're in front by about 2.5 lengths from Vividly. Then Dancing Prospector cruising along in third. Tough Rags is fourth, and Brilliant News is the last of the quintet as they head towards the 5-furlong marker. So with 5 furlongs to go, it's Renaissance Frolic continue to lead by 1.5 lengths from on the outside Vividly. Dancing Prospector takes closer order, so too does Brilliant News. Tough Rags is getting the hurry up as they round the far turn and head over the hill. They've got just about 4 furlongs to go. Half mile in 49 and 4. And Renaissance Frolic continues in front. Vividly runs on in second. Dancing Prospector comes under the pump. Brilliant News is hard ridden. Tough Rags will need a miracle to win from here as they go past the departure point and head down towards the 2-furlong marker. 6 and 1, 15 and 4. Inside the quarter pole they come, and Renaissance Frolic has not seen a rival since the start. On the outside, Vividly is game and in chase, and there are no more turns at the Coolmore. And Renaissance Frolic gets left-handed encouragement as has to go on. Vividly staying on one pace in second. So to Dancing Prospector and Brilliant News. But you can sing this field a lullaby. They've been put to bed. Renaissance Frolic from start to finish wins the 2025 Coolmore. Second was Vividly. Tight third between Brilliant News and Dancing Prospector.
Now, India are the under-19 Women's T20 World Cup champions after storming to a 9-wicket victory over South Africa in today's final. Having bowled South Africa out for 82, India needed just 11.2 overs to knock off the runs in Kuala Lumpur. Gongadi Trisha was the standout performer for India, taking 3 for 15 with the ball before smashing out beaten 44 from 33 balls in the chase. She ended as the tournament's leading run scorer with 309 in 7 matches, some 133 runs ahead of England's Davina Perrin in second. It was her teammate Shanika Chalkley who was left to hit the winning boundary 2 balls into the 12th over to start the celebrations for India, who also won the inaugural tournament in 2023. And that's it for sports. Up next is the weather with Carrie-Ann O'Neill.
Good evening and welcome to the weather news. While instability is impacting the island, today we had occasionally cloudy skies along with some showers. Now the winds are gusty here in Barbados and the seas, they are above normal. We do have a small craft advisory in effect. The maximum temperature today was 29 degrees Celsius, the minimum 22 degrees. At present, the temperature stands at 26 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity 81%, which means that we do have moisture building in the atmosphere. Those winds are coming in from the east. We take a look now at our satellite feed, where a trough system maintained instability here in Barbados. As a result, we had occasionally cloudy skies along with some showers. And we're bringing up that satellite feed just now, where we can see some of those clouds drifting across the area. We are expecting that we will continue to see cloudy skies along with some clear breaks and some scattered showers later on tonight. Now the winds generally across the region, they are moderate to breezy. They're gusty here in Barbados up to 40 knots. Meanwhile, we had some showers here up to 4.8 millimeters of rainfall in St. Philip. Meanwhile, the seas, they are moderate to rough in open water with swells peaking at 3 meters. We are urging small craft operators as well as sea bathers to exercise caution. There is a small craft advisory in effect. Further south, we do have their convergence maintaining cloudy skies along with showers and rain across the Guianas. Over now in the Western Caribbean, instability maintained some showers over Hispaniola as well as Puerto Rico. There were also showers being experienced over central Bahamas. Well, that's our first look at the weather. After the break, we'll have the forecast. Welcome back. In the forecast for tomorrow, the sun is expected to rise at 6:24 and will set at 6. Now the seas, they're moderate to rough in open water with swells peaking at 3 meters. We are urging small craft operators as well as sea bathers to exercise caution. There is a small craft advisory in effect. Now the winds are coming in from the east and they're peaking at 35 kilometers per hour. For us here in Barbados tonight, instability will continue to impact us. We can expect cloudy skies along with some clear breaks and some scattered showers. Over the next 3 days, a mix of sunshine, clouds and showers can be expected.
Well, that's our news for tonight. On behalf of the entire team, thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.